Are you lonesome tonight? Do you miss me tonight? Are you sorry we drifted apart? Does your
Hi guys.
Hello, welcome to Significant Lovers. We are your hosts. My name is Mel.
And I'm Kel.
We're two cousins, and this is a true love podcast.
Yes, it is. True love, heartbreak, divorce, marriage, all that.
Yes. Oh my god, did you hear in our last episode, free one, we were talking about the Riddler, and then there was an ad for the Riddler right afterwards?
That's crazy. That's weird.
Isn't that... It's so weird, like right after we spoke about it.
Do you think that they used AI or something to analyze the episode and then pick out our voice? That's so creepy.
Maybe. What if there's one like right now? Too early in the episode. But yeah, we hope you guys are having a really nice October so far if you're listening to this in real time.
Yep.
This is a very fun episode because we are back with our boy, Robert Pattinson.
Our celebrity crush.
Oh my god, the ultimate dream guy that there is.
Ultimate babe.
Every time, you know what's funny? Every time I'm really, really attracted to somebody, they either remind me of Rob or Edward Cullen, and the fact that to me, that's like the epitome of attractiveness. And
Agreed. Being
attracted to them just reminds me of my feelings for Rob, if that makes sense.
Of course it makes sense. I get that so much. Yeah, it's great to be talking about Robert Pattinson again.
Mm-hmm.
And who's the significant other? Who is this?
This is his current relationship with Suki Waterhouse, triple threat model, singer, and actress, also British. We did a full in-depth coverage of him and Kristen Stewart years ago on our Twilight podcast, which you can also listen to here. And they are our ultimate celebrity couple, and it was kind of our inspiration for starting this podcast. And then Kelly, several months ago, did a full in-depth episode of Rob and FKA Twigs, which I highly recommend that you listen to. All these episodes are free, right? FKA Twigs
I think so,
free?
yeah.
Yeah. And that might be a good prerequisite to this episode if you want a little bit more context.
Yeah, more about Rob. Yeah, hopefully this is considered a good public episode. I wanted to acknowledge, just because I thought it was kind of funny, we got a negative review recently from someone who was upset that certain episodes were on our Patreon, and I'm not upset. I'm not trying to complain. I think ultimately it's kind of a compliment that they wanted to listen. I am sorry that not all of them are free, but I just thought it was funny because the person said that they wanted to listen to a relevant episode like Drake and Rihanna, and who wants to listen to Charles and Camilla? And it's just funny because the Charles and Camilla episode was our number one most listened to episode for a long time, and Drake and Rihanna is actually not that popular of an episode, so just thought it was funny.
Yeah. And I will say for that, like, we were just saying this off the mic, we never do an episode thinking this is going to be bad. Like, pretty much all of them we're excited about. And
this is going to be a
honestly,
bad one.
At this point, I don't really weigh too heavily what is on the Patreon, what's on the main podcast. It's just how the timing works out, how it makes sense. Like, some of them I think, like, oh, this absolutely has to be free. I think the ones where I'm a little bit more nervous about, I might do Patreon. Like the Phoebe Bridgers one, I don't want Phoebe to hear that, so I'm gonna put that behind a paywall.
It's tough though, because it is hard to decide because people are paying for it, so sometimes I don't want it to be too obscure, because what if they haven't heard of it? Yeah, I don't know. But it is hard to decide, so we just kind of have to roll with it. And this is a public episode, so everybody can enjoy. But thank you to everyone who listens, no matter where you listen. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And that is a huge compliment if you're upset about it. So we appreciate it. But so yeah, Rob and Suki. So this couple, they've been together for 5 years, but they're not super public. So they're very mysterious. I think it took the press a long time to even accept that they were dating for some reason. And I'll get into that, but the 3 words that I would use to describe them would be goofy, chaotic, and secretive.
Chaotic? What?
Chaotic, not necessarily in their relationship, but I think they're both chaotic individuals. I think, like, they both seem very disorganized and messy.
Interesting.
Which I think wherever they go, they have a mess.
Interesting. I mean, you know, I'm a huge Robert Pattinson fan too. We both used to host together. We hosted a Twilight podcast, Another by Twilight. So I love Rob, but I haven't been keeping as close tabs as I used to. So I don't know a ton about him and Suki, but it's my impression from the little that I know that he doesn't talk about her that much. So I'm really intrigued to see what he has said about her.
Not a lot, but so Suki Waterhouse, her real name is Alice, actually.
What? First, shock of the episode.
Yeah.
I feel like we're always like, what?
I know. Suki is her middle name.
Cute. I love the name Suki. I think it's so cute.
Me too. It is really cute. And she's from Hammersmith, London, raised in Chiswick, which I think is pretty posh.
Ooh.
Her mom is Elizabeth. She's a cancer care nurse. And her dad is Norman, a top-notch plastic surgeon and owner of a medical spa called the Waterhouse Clinic.
Wow.
So her family grew up pretty wealthy because he is a very famous plastic surgeon. I think he's like done plastic surgeries for celebrities. And that's pretty nice because Suki's a model, and two of her sisters, Maddie and Imogen, are also models, and I think that they have actually had plastic surgery, so works out. They probably got a big discount, and I feel like that's pretty handy for their careers. So
I'm curious.
That's nice.
What do people think about when their partner has had plastic surgery? I'm just curious. If anybody...
Like plastic surgery before meeting them or during the relationship?
Either. Just curious.
I do think there's definitely a stigma with plastic surgery. Like, people are judgmental, but then at the same time, Suki's so beautiful that it's like...
I mean, she definitely didn't need it, but...
Yeah.
It seems like she did do some stuff, but... Anyway, sorry, I'm derailing the conversation.
It's interesting because I feel like in society, you obviously are treated differently if you're beautiful, but then it has to be effortless at the same time. Like, people are going to judge you if you've had work done, but then they're going to judge you if you look a certain way, and it's like you can't really win.
It's true.
But yeah, so that is convenient for her and her sisters. And she also has a brother named Charlie. I'm not sure what he does, but not a lot is known about her childhood, but she was pretty creative growing up. She has said that she would stare out her window and she would write love songs when she was 13. And at 15, she was scouted as a model in either a Topshop or an H&M. She doesn't remember. And at 19, she became a lingerie model for Marks & Spencer, and she mostly did magazine modeling, but she also did walk some runways for Burberry and Alexander Wang and Balenciaga.
Wow.
I would say, though, that she mostly started gaining recognition based on who she was acquainted with. That's when she started becoming known in the public sphere. Mostly, she was really good friends with Cara Delevingne and Georgia May Jagger, Mick Jagger's daughter.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when she started appearing in the Daily Mail, which we know is owned by Cara Delevingne's family. So I think that started helping. Yeah.
Wow. Imagine.
Covered her.
Imagine just by having certain friends that led you to dating Robert Pattinson, basically.
Oh, my gosh.
Right?
No, that's crazy.
Not to take away.
we
I mean,
can
I just feel
achieve
like that did make her famous. So,
well, I think here's the thing: is like Suki, I think, will be defensive about that later on in her career. Of like, you know, people know me for who I've dated or who I'm friends with, but I want to be known for me. But you cannot deny that that has helped her in her career.
I'm sorry,
and I
Suki.
think that. I'm sorry, Suki, too. But also, I think that she probably knows that because I think it's, at times, it seems a little bit deliberate. I hate to say that, but, like, connections do get you a long way.
But at least she's doing something with it, you know?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Whatever. I think everybody just wants that. Like, we all wish we had those connections to
100%,
catapult
yeah.
our... whatever, our sculpting career, our photography career, whatever.
No, yeah, 100%. But you can't deny that that's a huge part of it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's a huge boost that you get from having famous friends, so.
Anyway.
But she had to be cool enough to be friends with these famous people.
That's true.
Not just any Joe Schmo can be friends with Cara Delevingne and Mick Jagger's daughter.
That's so true, Mel, yeah. She needed to have charisma. There. She needed to be interesting. Yeah.
Exactly. So, even kids in my high school, I wasn't cool enough to be friends with. So that's really impressive.
I mean, they say even, you know, people that have just been considered muses to artists and stuff, that it takes talent to even be a muse. So.
Exactly. You know? That's so true.
Yeah, not all of us could capture the interest of Cara Delevingne or
Definitely
whoever.
Not. Definitely not. So props to Suki.
Yep.
She should own that, honestly.
Yeah, she should.
But so then in 2010, she started dating Miles Kane, an English singer and musician known for the band The Last Shadow Puppets.
I know him.
And, oh, do you?
Mm-hmm.
His name sounds familiar to me, but I didn't know the band name. What's their like popular song?
Well, it's him and Alex Turner, and Alex Turner is the lead singer of Arctic Monkeys, and Miles Kane has done some things with Lana and probably some other people too. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a pretty interesting relationship right there.
Cool. I would cover it.
Yeah. They dated for 2 years, but then I would say what really made Suki,
I know what you're going to say,
well known, would be when she moved to LA to pursue her career in acting, and soon after moving, actually it might have been right before, because she met Bradley Cooper at the Elle Style Awards in London, and they hit it off. She was 21 and he was 37.
Wow.
It's 2013, and there's a very famous picture of him reading Lolita to her in the park. You've seen that, right?
Yes.
It's creepy because she's wearing overalls, and
that must have been staged. It's like too perfect.
Oh my god, 100%. But it's like weird because it looks like he's like reading a story to her.
I know.
And he looks like a man, and she looks like a teenager.
Let's go read Lolita out loud in the park.
In the park? That is so weird.
I did one time read books out loud in the park with my boyfriend, but it wasn't Lolita, and we didn't have an age gap like that. So,
and don't you think if you were a celebrity, that's not something that you would do?
Probably not.
It's like a
they probably have a
crowded
backyard.
Park. Yeah.
They can afford a backyard.
It's so... He's like reading it to her. And, like,
we haven't covered Bradley yet on the show.
We haven't.
Isn't that odd? So many possibilities.
We talked about him and Lady Gaga a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. But that was a compilation episode.
Yeah,
anyway.
He would be a good one. Let's keep that in mind. So then at 22, she had her first supporting role in the 2014 rom-com Love, Rosie, starring Lily Collins. And then a year later, she had a supporting role in the Divergent sequel, which I never saw. Then her and Bradley broke up, reportedly because he was ready to start a family, but she wasn't. But
I doubt
who
it.
knows? Yeah, me too. We'll have to cover them to investigate if that's believable. And then in 2015, she was spotted going on apparent dates with Nat Wolff and James Marsden, but then reportedly began dating Diego Luna on and off for 2 years. And during that time, she also seemingly went on Raya dates. So, you know, we all have those periods when our romantic life is up in the air and you're dating someone, but you're not. And
wow.
You know, that's just called being in your 20s. So
it's just called being in your 20s.
One of those people is the best friend of one of my friends.
Yeah,
so
I know.
That makes me 4 degrees away from Robert Pattinson.
Wow, Mel.
But yeah,
what do we do about that?
I know that stresses me out. I haven't met him though, but I've met the brother.
Okay, so people know it's the Wolves now. Unless it's James Marsden's brother.
Maybe.
James Marsden is really cute.
Why would one of my friends be best friends with James Marsden?
I don't know.
That's a huge age gap.
Maybe he's your friend's mentor or something.
Like the Big Brother program.
Yeah. Well, he's really cute, so that's too bad. But anyway.
I know. So then in 2006, she played the lead role in a film called The Bad Batch, and then she was cast in a supporting role in the miniseries The White Princess, and she kept getting booked. She then has a starring role in The Girl Who Invented Kissing, and she was a part of the ensemble cast in the black comedy thriller Assassination Nation. I'll be honest, guys, I haven't really heard of any of these. But yeah,
me neither, but that's okay.
Consistently booking roles, that's great. And all the while, she was also working on music. In 2016, she released her song Brutally. And then in 2017, she released the song Good Looking. And also in 2018, the song Valentine, which is actually how I first discovered her. She just came up on my Discover Weekly on Spotify, and I really liked the song Valentine. So, you know, before I had even known that she was with Robert Pattinson, I liked her music. So I guess you could call me a Suki fan.
I guess so.
And I would describe her, and other people have described her in articles as, well, she's very into astrology. She's charismatic, sentimental, chronically nostalgic. She has a I don't give a fuck style. She's outwardly precocious, but describes herself as having a mix of being incredibly confident and incredibly fucked and insecure. Apparently, she is very good friends with Taylor Swift, who has described her as saying, "When we hang out, I often come away wondering how someone could be simultaneously spontaneous and free and also prematurely wise." Or preternaturally wise?
The heck
I think it's
does
supposed
that
to be
mean?
I think it's supposed to be prematurely wise.
But
She
what
is
does
the
that
wildest
mean?
I don't know. Maybe like wise beyond her years.
So how old is she now?
31.
When did Taylor say that?
Recently.
Interesting. Because precocious
Do you
is
think
also
Taylor
a term
knows?
for like a little kid.
I know. That was a couple years ago.
Interesting. Anyway.
But maybe Taylor doesn't know how old she is, though. She has so many friends. It is crazy that she is also really good friends with Taylor Swift. Like, how did that come about? But
Yeah.
I guess Cara Delevingne.
That's true.
Taylor also said she is the wildest person I know who I would also trust to keep any secret. That's sweet.
That's nice.
I do have to say, sometimes I wonder if Suki's online persona is a little bit contrived. She does have that kind of like very goofy ness to her, but sometimes I'm like, who filmed that? She has one video on her Instagram where she's like in a bathtub and she's blowing bubbles, and then her AirPods get wet, and I'm like, how did you film that? Like, why were you randomly filming yourself in the bathtub? And it's like an overhead shot. Unless she was like filming one of those like day in the life videos, you know?
Yeah. I know. Some people make their online presence look very disheveled or random, and you know, like they're a piece of gum on the sidewalk and the billboard, and I don't know, but they are putting a lot of effort into making it look that way. So
100%. More and more people are doing that, like with their photo dumps. It's like,
oh my gosh,
like just
I'm so sick of that phrase.
just do a good picture. Why not just like a good posed picture?
Why does it have to be bad?
Why are we purposely? Yeah, it's so contrived now. It's like people will take a picture that's fine and then they'll make it blurry for the aesthetic.
I feel like it's almost insecure. It's a sense of insecurity.
It is, because it's like I don't want people
like I'm trying.
Yes, 100%. But then they're trying hard to not seem like they're trying hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
can't
ridiculous. Win. Let's all just like admit that we try.
True.
I don't know.
Just by making the effort to post something is trying, basically. So
100%.
Might as well make it look good.
Doing. Exactly. Just do the picture. It's like people will do a like carousel of pictures, and then like the best picture is like the fourth one in. Like, put that one first. Let's own it, you know? I don't know. But I think Suki kind of does that, though.
I see what you mean.
But yeah, the thing is, she never posts Rob at all, and their relationship is very private, especially for having dated for 5 years so far. I'm not going to really get into Rob's backstory since we've covered him before, and we've also covered him fully in depth on our old podcast, Another Bite of Twilight, if you want to listen to the Just Star Robert Pattinson episode. We went through his entire life.
Link in the description.
But just to give you a little synopsis, he was born May 13th, 1986. His dad, Richard, was a vintage car dealer, and his mom, Claire, was a modeling scout. He has 2 older sisters, and like Suki, he started out as a model and then kind of fell into acting while also working on music. So they both have
that's so true.
Those 3 in common:
model, actor, musician. Wow. And
he obviously was in Harry Potter and then Twilight and then did a lot of indie films, The Batman, you guys know. Before dating Suki, he had a, I guess, teenage romance with someone named Nina Schubert. They dated for several years in London, and then they broke up when he moved to Hollywood. And then you guys might know he dated Kristen Stewart from 2009 to 2013.
We love it.
Kind of high profile.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Probably like the most iconic couple of all time. But I'm going to try to really not bring Kristen up in this episode.
Oh, really?
So. She might come up here and there. But
okay.
I'll keep it to a minimum. But it's hard sometimes.
Yeah.
And then he dated FKA Twigs in 2014. They got engaged a few months later and then broke up in 2017.
Yep.
And I would describe him as mysterious, aloof, hard to read, goofy, very serious about his work, but tries to make it seem like he's not that serious about it. Complex, creative, thoughtful. I think he's a big reader. He's very intellectual. But he's also a compulsive liar, I would say.
I would agree with all of that. I hope he's not a liar to his girlfriends.
I feel like he lies so much that he probably is a liar in his like I think he lies to be funny, but then he probably can't help himself.
He definitely lies to the press all the time.
I wonder what he's like behind closed doors.
I know.
So it's 2018. It's summer. It's July. And Rob has several months that he's spending in London while filming The King. It's been a few months past his breakup with Twigs. And no one really knows like what's going on in his personal life at all. Until July 30th, Rob and Suki were spotted together for the first time at Electric Cinema in Notting Hill, where they watched Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again around 9 p.m. local time. After the movie, they had drinks at Soho House across the street until 1 a.m. You know, sounds like a date, you know?
Yeah.
And they were then photographed by paparazzi walking back to her house with his arm draped around her and smiling. And they were also photographed kissing on the sidewalk and her kissing his hand. Or maybe the other way around. I forget. But it doesn't really matter. And then eyewitnesses say that at one point they were dancing together in the street.
Wow. Okay, so this isn't a first date or a second date. It seems like they've been dating.
Well, why do you say that? Because they're...
Because I just think you wouldn't be that comfortable. Like, you wouldn't have your arm around somebody and be kissing their hand if
That's
you just
true.
met.
That's true. I have had some people, like, do that with me right away, and it feels like too much on the first date.
Yeah.
I think if Rob was kissing me on the first date, I'd be, like, all in.
Yeah.
But,
you'd be okay with
yeah.
it. But I also think he is such a private guy. I just don't think he would be acting that way on a first date with somebody.
I agree. It's being reported that the two were set up by mutual friends, and Lainey Gossip theorizes that Sienna Miller, Tom Sturridge's baby mama, introduced her since the English models run in the same crowd. But
that's what people said about FK Twigs.
Yeah. I wonder why she's like always trying to set Rob up.
I wonder.
You know what it probably is? All of her friends are probably like knocking on her door saying, please set me up with Rob, please. And it's more so she's probably trying to help her friends out.
I remember somebody actually commented on our YouTube about this. I'm gonna go look for it, but don't wait up.
Okay. So, but it's so confusing. There's mixed reports about how serious they are as a couple.
Oh.
Us Weekly is saying that the two have been dating for several months. But a source tells E, which is E! News, is like the site for Rob and Suki. You know, they all have their sites, and that's theirs.
Yeah.
And the source says that the two are only casually dating. They say Rob is having fun right now and has definitely moved on from his relationship with FKA Twigs, but he isn't looking for anything serious right now. The source adds, Rob likes to have fun when he has breaks in between filming, and he and Suki are having a great time together. Which is interesting because it makes you think that like it's someone from Rob's camp who's trying to downplay the relationship.
Oh wait, I found the comment. Okay, this was X77 said, anyway, pro tip for when you do Rob and Suki, ... Never trust the given timeline. Most think Rob and Twigs probably started dating around Coachella 2014. Introduced by Florence, there is no Twigs/Sienna connection. Rob and Suki probably Sundance 2018. Years later, she casually mentioned something she bought in the town where Rob filmed The Lighthouse. So ... Yeah, they were already together months before they got papped. I don't know how that person knows sense. That.
Wow.
But thank you. So I guess there wasn't, just back to what we were saying, I guess there wasn't, according to this person, a Sienna Miller connection to FK Twigs. So...
I wonder if... Yeah, that's just a theory. I mean, it might have been. But also, Sienna Miller and Tom Sturridge weren't together at this point. So, I mean, yes, she's the mother of his child. But how close could they be? I'm not sure.
I don't know. Anyway, just wanted to bring that back, that comment. Anyway.
That is interesting. So, then Rob was photographed on August 21st, day drinking from morning until closing time with mates at a pub in London. Can you imagine if you're there at the pub?
Wow.
I will say, I have heard just like rumblings from people and people online and different things throughout the years that Rob could potentially have a drinking problem. I don't know if that's like out of pocket for me to bring up on the podcast, but that's just like one thing I've heard at times. Who knows? It's not going to come up again, but that's just something I've heard.
I mean, that is a lot of drinking. Morning till night.
It's a lot of drinking.
Yeah.
And, with him being so hard to read, that could be a factor. I'm not sure. So Suki wasn't there, but witnesses say, according to Lainey Gossip, that he was seen FaceTiming her loudly while swinging around a street sign after leaving the bar. Which is cute. I feel like that's something you do when you're in love.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then August 29th, W Magazine publishes an article titled Robert Pattinson and Suki Waterhouse are both single and separate. Thanks for asking. And for context, around this time, there's other big romances, summer romances that have ended in high-profile engagements. This is the summer of Pete and Ariana and Justin and Haley. And reports are saying, but actually Rob and Suki have fizzled out. They claim, according to the Daily Mail, that their budding romance broke down just weeks after it had begun as they both were too busy with upcoming projects.
No.
I'm not sure how true that is, but then in September, they both separately attended the TIFF Film Festival, her for Assassination Nation and him for High Life. And then a week later, they were photographed together at a Miguel concert in LA. So it seems like they're still in touch and hanging out. And then in October, they were spotted on Halloween leaving the Chilton Firehouse together at 2:15 a.m. They did not dress in costume, but it looks like they were bombarded by paparazzi leaving the club. There was paparazzi everywhere. Then it's December. They were photographed leaving a Christmas party together in London at 5 a.m. And at this point, all the publications, every time they refer to them, they say the off and on couple. But we don't really know for sure that they were ever off. But I wonder if somehow they know that they were off.
Yeah, I wonder where they got that from.
There's such a reluctance to admit that they're a serious couple at this point still. I'm not sure why. But so then December 11th, they both attended the British Fashion Awards, but not together. And then it's 2019, January. It appears like they are still going strong after being photographed leaving Suki's 27th birthday together in London.
Wow.
According to the photo agency, they were at London's Casa Cruz for a particularly star-filled dinner. Guests included Liv Tyler, her husband Dave Gardner, Georgia May Jagger, Cara Delevingne, Ashley Benson, and Alice Dalell.
Wow.
Pattinson and Waterhouse even had a car mishap, the agency noted, where they tried to get into Delevingne's car instead of their Uber. Oh, to live in that world. And January 28th, they were photographed by paparazzi holding hands and walking down the street in London together. So that's January, and then there's basically no reports of them together until April, and people are wondering if they're still together. But then in April, Rob was interviewed by The Times, and he was asked about Suki, and he says, "Do I have to talk about her?" And then the interviewer presses, and he gives a really long response about why... Sorry, there's a siren outside.
That's okay.
The interviewer presses, and he gives a very long response about why he doesn't like to talk about his private relationships. And he says, "If you let people in, it devalues what love is. If a stranger on the street asks you about your relationship, you think it'd be extremely rude. If you put up a wall, it ends up better. I can't understand how someone can walk down the street holding hands, and it's the same as when I do it and 100 people are taking your photo. The line between when you're performing and when you're not will eventually get washed away, and you'll go completely mad." Which is sad. It makes me think that he had a lot of almost trauma from his relationship with Kristen, especially where he says it will end up bad.
Because he knows.
I think him being publicly cheated on and everybody being obsessed with what happened, and then paparazzi saying things about it, must have been just truly awful, especially when you're already going through a breakup. It's like humiliating.
Can't imagine.
Yeah, and so I think that, because honestly, before then, when he was dating Kristen, it seemed like he wanted to be more public and Kristen was the one who was private.
I know. It was always confusing.
But, I mean, that's really interesting because this will come up throughout the episode, but I do think that people seem to think that Suki is a little bit notorious for calling the paparazzi. And
really?
I'll be honest.
You always should, Mel. What?
I'll be honest. I do think she does call the paparazzi, and I wonder if that's a conflict in their relationship because he's saying this stuff about wanting privacy and going completely mad, and I don't think that he needs any more publicity. I think he could not leave his house for 5 years and he would still be just as famous just because he's cemented in pop culture forever. Yeah. And unlike Taylor Lautner, I feel like Taylor Lautner actually isn't for some reason, but I think he is. And that, I wonder, like, how would that make him feel, you know?
Yeah, because it seemed pretty clear that Rob didn't like the spotlight. He had enough of it. He wanted to go underground. He chose to do small indie movies. He doesn't want the attention, but it does seem like Suki wants to grow her career and wants to be a bigger actor or singer. So that is interesting. She would benefit from the attention, but he, like you said, I don't think he needs it. So
yeah, exactly. But I don't think he could ever date someone of his caliber again because I don't think I think that would be too much. But I'm not sure. I really truly wonder like how that works for them. But well, it'll come up because they're photographed by the paparazzi a lot. So for a couple that doesn't post on Instagram, like I feel like they use paparazzi for the publicity, or at least Suki does. So then in May, the couple celebrates his birthday together in LA at the Chateau Marmont. There's pictures of that. And then later in May, they're spotted holding hands on a walk, photographed by paparazzi doing that. In June, the couple apparently went on a double date with Joe Alwyn and Taylor Swift in LA.
Wow.
I really wonder, you know, if you could only be a fly on the wall.
I know.
Those conversations.
I wish. Oh
my gosh.
Man.
So then in August, 1 year after being linked, it appears that they're still a couple. They're photographed by paparazzi in sweatpants on a walk in London together. And then over Christmas, they were photographed by paparazzi holding hands again in London, smiling and looking very cute. And the press started speculating if Suki was engaged because she's hiding her ring finger inside her coat. But then a few days later, she's photographed with a bare ring finger. So it seems like that's not true. But then in January, engagement rumors start swirling again because the couple attended the Dior fashion party and Suki wore a ring on her ring finger, like her wedding ring finger.
Why do people always do this?
I know, but it doesn't really look like an engagement ring, so. But do you think you cannot put any ring on your ring finger?
I
my
never
mom always
do.
tells me, you never do?
No.
Yeah, my mom always tells me, like, you can't because people will think you're engaged. But if it's not an engagement ring, will people know?
No, but I don't know why. I just feel like, I guess not everybody has to buy into it, but I just feel like it's reserved for that. And I just don't.
Here's the thing. This is me being catty. I feel bad saying this because I do like Suki. I think she's really interesting and cool and pretty. But if she is a little bit of a fame chaser and likes to get the media talking, don't you think she would have caught on to, people were speculating if I was engaged because of me hiding my ring finger. So then I'm going to purposely wear a ring on my ring finger to fuel up more speculation and articles about me.
Do you wear rings on your ring finger? On your left hand?
No.
We should do a poll and ask people, because I've always thought it was so strange. I feel like people are always noticing that celebrities wear rings on their ring finger. And I know, I don't get it. I'm like, why are you even doing that? I don't understand.
I know, but maybe that is for attention.
Maybe.
Then you get then if you're dating someone high profile enough, you will probably get an article written about you. It's like the most
insane.
lazy. It's such an easy thing to do.
It is insane how people zoom in on pictures and you're like, oh, she's wearing the necklace he gave her.
I know.
It's a sign.
It's crazy.
I feel like I would do that, though. I kind of think I would. Like, if I was this is calling back to Kristen Stewart, but I feel like even if it wasn't necessarily for paparazzi, I might do something like that if I was heartbroken. I don't know.
Oh, how Kristen wore, like, the jewelry that Rob gave her? Yeah. Kristen, after Kristen and Rob broke up, she kept wearing his clothes that everybody knew that were Rob's for, like, months.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's like she wanted everybody to see, like, no, Rob is still mine.
Yeah.
So then it's April, we're about a month into the pandemic, and they were photographed in their pajamas and sweatpants, looking very ratty, leaving the grocery store in London. And she's holding a big thing of bottled water, and he's showing her a box of Kellogg's. It's really funny because they look like huge bums. Like, I feel like it's just like such a cultural, it's a moment in time for what everybody looks like. Like, pretty much the only activity people would do is go to the grocery store.
So true.
But what is interesting about this time period for Rob and Suki is that the majority of paparazzi photos during this time period are taken by a photographer named Giselle Parshodam. And he was based in London and in LA. And he was actually part of a Guardian story which came out a few years ago about how paparazzi has changed a lot since social media. And now, most of the time, paparazzi pictures are staged in order to help a celebrity's brand, which is very different compared to the idea that we have of celebrities from Britney Spears or Princess Diana. And the reason for this being because paparazzi photos are not nearly worth as much as they used to be, because magazines can just take photos from a celebrity's Instagram and print them for free. So they're not paying as much. So paparazzi aren't going to great lengths to get photos anymore. And a lot of people have quit the paparazzi business because it's just not really what it used to be.
So that means a lot of pictures we see more recently are deliberate.
Yes. So, and that photographer in particular said that him and other photographers have very close relationships with the celebrities that they photographed. And it's widely believed that Suki had this particular photographer on speed dial during this time.
Wow. I wonder how that goes, if she's just like, hey, we're going to be out today, or did she say what time to come? I'm curious how that works.
I know. And is Rob agreeable to that? Is he like, oh yeah, if it's good for you, babe? Because in a way, this type of paparazzi seems a lot more respectful than the kind that are just hounding them and getting any shot. You'll see videos of Rob at the airport and the paparazzi are saying very offensive things. Like, obviously, I don't think he called those people there. But one photographer in the distance seems a lot more manageable.
I remember when I was researching Samantha Ronson and Lindsay Lohan that Samantha said years later that she found out that Lindsay had called the paparazzi. So I guess it's a thing people do.
I would feel so weird if I was dating somebody and didn't tell them that I called the paparazzi. It seems like such a betrayal in a way.
It does.
That's so weird. Gosh. I mean, it's so hard though, because if I was dating Rob, I would want everybody to know.
I know. Even if Rob wasn't
allowed
famous,
to post.
I know. Even if he wasn't famous, he's just so good looking. Like, let me post a picture of you. You're cute.
I mean, I think Rob is a special situation, but I think it's a bad sign when people don't post their significant partner sometimes on social media, because it's like, what are you hiding? Like, who do you not want to know, you know?
I agree. Unless your Instagram is like only pictures of squirrels or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I will be honest. I wouldn't want my mom to know, so I guess. In a way, I kind of relate.
Yeah, no, but I get what you're saying. Especially if it is somebody who posts a lot on social media, it is just weird.
Yeah. But so not this photographer, but a different photographer. I didn't write down his first name, but his last name is Parfit.
Okay.
He gave a really interesting quote that I will share because I just thought it was cool. He said, "Everyone in the ecosystem is required to perform a complicated charade. Celebrities pretend they haven't contacted paparazzi. Photographers accept the public's dislike as a necessary price for doing their job. I've had people walking past going, 'Leave them alone.' And I'm thinking, they rang me to shoot these pictures. But celebrities can't be seen to be working with paps. So they have to say, 'It's fine, I'm used to it.' They partake in this unholy dance because it is considered unforgivably gauche to seek fame, rather than to stumble upon it en route to another destination. We hold our hands up and say, 'It's set up,' says Harris. It's the celebrities themselves who are embarrassed about it." Which makes me wonder, like, is Rob's whole thing about needing privacy, could that be a charade as well? But I do think that he has achieved such insane amount of fame without trying that hard that I don't think I don't know. I just think that he'll always be famous.
I know. I mean, there are so few actors, I think, that achieve that status. I mean, maybe like the Harry Potter stars. I don't know. It's just, it was insane. It was absolute mania. And so
Exactly.
I believe that he doesn't like the attention, but yeah, I know that it does make you think.
This photographer as well, the one that takes most of the pictures of Rob and Suki, he also talked about how he was photographing Hailey Bieber. And actually, I think there's a video of it too. She's walking and then she's like, "Wait, can I do it again?" And he does it again, and then she shows her the pictures and she picks the ones that she likes.
Wow. Yeah, I read that paparazzi sometimes do that they let the star look at the pictures and pick which ones they like.
I know. I feel like probably the only genuine paparazzi photos now are the ones from the airport. Because they're probably just camped out there all the time.
Oh, it's so confusing.
I know. But so then it's May of 2020, and GQ runs a cover story on Rob titled "A Dispatch from Isolation," which was such a huge article at the time. We covered it on our Patreon episode of Another Bite of Twilight around then. I think in a mini episode. In this article, it's revealed that him and Suki have been isolating together in London in a flat that the Batman studio rented for him while the production was on hold, and people freak out because he tells the reporter that the studio hired a trainer who left him with a Bosu ball, a single weight, and a sincere plea to use both, but right now he says he's ignoring her. And he says, "I think if you're working out all the time, you're part of the problem." He says, sighing. "By you, he means other actors. You set a precedent. No one was doing this in the 70s, even James Dean. He wasn't exactly ripped," he says. "That one time he told me to take my shirt off." Oh, like the Twilight people. "They told me to take my shirt off. I think they told me to put it back on." But see, I feel like he always says things like that, which are like kind of a joke. Like, obviously, he's not letting himself go, but people were so mad about that.
Like, "Oh man, Batman's gonna look horrible. He's gonna be wimpy."
I know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he took his you went to the bathroom when he took his shirt off, I think.
I know. I saw it again though.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm like dying in here. I kind of want to take my shirt off.
Why, is it hot?
It's like really hot in my room, but I'm not wearing anything underneath. But I'm alone in my room. Would that be weird?
No, it's fine. I think I've done that before.
What? Like recorded topless?
No, I mean, I had a bra on, but...
I don't even have that.
Oh my god, it's gonna be totally... Just do it.
I'm alone in my room though. Guys, don't judge me.
So who cares?
But, so yeah.
Wasn't there something... Is that the article where in the pictures you could see some sense of Suki somehow?
Yeah, I think you could kind of see a reflection of her. And so the article says photographed by Robert Pattinson, but it must have been Suki taking the photos.
Because it's of him.
Yeah, it's of him. Yeah, unless you put it on a tripod or something.
Yeah.
And he's styled like in a lot of designer clothes, but it's all kind of messy. And you can see inside the flat, like the closet's a mess. The medicine cabinet is not that organized. Like, that's why I say chaotic, because they look like they're messy. But yeah, he made this like really disgusting meal, which everyone was, you know, having a laugh about at the time. It was made of 1 filthy box of cornflakes, a lighter, 9 packs of pre-sliced cheese, just any sauce, the top half of a hamburger bun, lots of sugar, and microwaved penne pasta, and he called it Little Pillow.
Oh my gosh.
The reporter said that it looked like he was cooking meth, and he said, "I'm just trying to sell the company. I'm doing this for my brand." And at one point, he even melted the latex gloves onto his hand, and it just was like all over the place.
What the heck? Did he eat it?
He's a goofy guy. Yeah, I think he did, and I think it tasted
Sounds
bad.
horrible.
I would be kind of pissed if I was Suki and if I took the photos, but the article didn't say it. Because I think she does do photography too as a hobby, and it's a huge accolade, like shooting for GQ.
Did he mention Suki in the article?
Only to say that he was living with his girlfriend, but like he didn't. It wasn't even a quote. Like the reporter just said it.
Yeah, I see.
So yeah, then there's like more paparazzi photos of them on walks and jogs in London. Suki posts a lot of photos from inside the flat, which, you know, look a lot like the one in the article. And again, it's super messy, and all the comments are like, "Where is Rob? Where is Rob?" And she then ends up disabling her comments because they're all about Rob.
Interesting.
So then in September, a few days into the production of Batman, Rob tested positive for COVID, and production had to shut down. So awful, because production had been shut down for months, and then I think it was like day 2 or something crazy. The star of the film, like, that's so embarrassing. But he was fine. 2 weeks later, Rob and Suki were photographed kissing with their masks down on a bench in London. How perfect that they would then get that shot that it's, oh, Rob's fine, he's like all better, you know, like that to me seems a little staged.
They did have a lot of pictures around this time with the masks and walking around.
A lot. And he like keeps wearing the mask for a while, and I think it's because it does hide his identity a little bit. So I really do think he genuinely does not want to be photographed.
Yeah, me too.
So then in October, a source tells E! News that Rob and Suki have definitely discussed getting engaged after 2 years of dating. The source says that they have discussed it but are in no rush, and that Suki is not pressuring him, and they both are very committed to each other. The source adds, they love being low-key together and have very similar interests. They truly are inseparable and in love. Another source says they have both been spending time in the UK together during the last year, and their relationship is stronger than ever.
Do you think that was true?
Nice. I don't know. It's like, who are these sources?
Who are you?
It's so weird to me because with all celebrities, not just them, sometimes articles will like randomly come up. It's like nothing is going on. Why are these sources just randomly telling the publication, oh, they're great?
Yeah.
Like, I get if there's some type of thing in the person's life that maybe triggers people to go to the magazines, but it seemed like all was good. Why are you just like telling us that?
Interesting.
And then in November, they were photographed walking in London with his parents together.
Oh.
So it seems like, like they're serious, you know?
Yeah.
So in 2021, not a lot is known about, you know, what they're up to from January, February, March. Like, there's no photos of them together. I know. But then in April 15th, Suki posts a photo to Instagram, and far in the background on her bookshelf, you can see a framed photo of them kissing.
Wow. Kissing.
So that's... And then April 20th, 420, they were spotted holding hands on a walk in Notting Hill together by paparazzi.
420.
And then a few more months, not a lot going on. And then in July, it's the Gossip Girl revival in episode 3.
Oh,
I haven't seen this, but one of the minions of the Queen Bee character attempts to help a new girl character. You've seen this, so you might be able to explain it better than me. She attempts to help her rehab her image after dating her long-lost sister's ex-boyfriend, I think. And the character says to the other one, "When are you going to get it? As far as the press is concerned, he's our Pats and you're Suki nobody." Mean. And then Suki tweets, "Another day to be reminded that women can also be the patriarchy." And she tags the show writer Lila Feinberg. And then she also writes, "Seeing critiques of the patriarchy and sexism, then I get name checked as somebody's girlfriend. Make it make sense." And then she deletes the tweets.
This is why Gossip Girl doesn't work in the 2020s anymore.
I know. This is okay. Maybe Suki came to this realization because she deleted the tweets, and I understand why she's offended. It's an offensive line, but I think it's unfair to get mad at the writer about something that the character said.
Yeah, because the character was being a bitch.
Exactly, and TV characters are not supposed to be like representative of moral examples in society. Like,
so
a character
true,
is not
Mel.
supposed to be a perfect person.
Yeah.
And or it's not supposed to be the voice of the writer either.
And the original Gossip Girl, way better, by the way, but I think everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Always was referencing pop culture and celebrities and stuff. So that's just the name of the game. And yeah, I mean, the girl that said that was being bitchy, so
yeah. And
I
like
don't know.
the whole thing about Gossip Girls, they're all like social climbers.
Yeah.
They're all like obsessed with status. So that's so in character of what someone in that universe is gonna say and think.
You're Suki
Like,
nobody.
I don't know. I think it's like really not fair to criticize the writer for upholding the patriarchy, because that's just accurate to like what is real for those characters. And I don't know, it's also like it's
taking it
still
too far.
true that you think it's taking it too far.
Yeah, saying like that tagging that writer and saying something about the
Yeah.
patriarchy. I don't know. I feel like that's too much. Putting too much weight on one comment on a TV show.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Taylor Swift has kind of done that too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe she's just having a bad day, and you hear that, and
Maybe.
we all react emotionally to stuff, and she probably regretted it. That's why she deleted it. But
Yeah.
it's, I don't know, it's like, you know, with art, you need to be allowed to be free to have, you know.
And I don't think it was a gendered thing, actually. It's just because he happens to be more famous than her.
Exactly. And it's also true as far as the press is concerned. Despite how talented Suki is, like, at this time she is mostly known for being Robert Pattinson's girlfriend. Like, I'd hate to say that, but like it's just kind of true. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's reality. It's just the world in which we live in, and like that's how the press does treat her. But But she probably was just having a bad day, you know.
Yeah.
We all have those days. So then in September, this is the first sighting of Rob and Suki together in about 6 months.
Oh.
And Suki supported Rob when he hosted the grand opening of the Academy Awards Museum in LA, but they didn't take any photos together there. Then in October, a source randomly told E! News that they are always totally joined at the hip, adding, "You can tell he's completely in love with her."
Oh.
In November, Rob and Suki were spotted at a movie together in LA, and he was also spotted attending one of her shows because she's getting more and more into music now.
Rob is just so mysterious.
I know.
Sorry, I'm just going back to that Gossip Girl thing. I just wonder what he thought.
I know. Yeah, me too.
And what did he think about her tweeting about it?
Well, because it is weird because then after, like, they're really not spotted together for a really long time.
I wonder if he also thought it was messed up, or did he think it was good that she responded? Did he dislike that she responded? I don't know. I just have so many questions.
I know. I really wonder, like, what made her delete it. I mean, I will say, like, as far as Suki is concerned, though, like, I still think people probably hate on Suki because she's Rob's girlfriend and they're just jealous. And I feel like I'm being, like, a little unfair pointing out that she calls the paparazzi, but I think it's really obvious that she does. So. But, like, people were brutal to FKA Twigs, like, absolutely relentless. So, like, Suki has it pretty good in comparison.
That's true.
People were so racist, like...
I know.
I don't know, like, the one comment on Gossip Girl where a character is supposed to be a bitch.
Anyway,
so then in 2020, Suki's music career really starts rising because her song Good Looking from 2017 goes viral on TikTok. And actually, it's really a sped up version of the song went viral. But
I hate
that song. I know, it's so weird. But so then it becomes really big. And then she starts doing a lot of touring and traveling and does different shows. Then in February, The Batman is about to come out and Rob is doing promotion for it and he's on Jimmy Kimmel. And so unlike him, he casually mentions Suki, and I have a clip.
He did do that, and I watched it with Matt Reeves, the incredible director, and his family. And
was he looking at you the whole time during the movie to see how you reacted?
I'm not really sure. I watched it with my girlfriend as well, and she was like, it was really her reaction that kind of changed the entire thing, because I'm pretty sure she's not normally into watching kind of superhero movies.
These kind of movies, yeah.
And just seeing that she was capturing her attention the entire time, and then like she just held my hand and just touched it right there, and I could feel a little tear. And I was no way.
And then was she... and then after the movie, was she just all over you, super sexed up from Batman?
I mean, yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, yeah. Do you think, is that it? When he says that?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
So cute.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Scandal.
I'm so jealous.
Wow.
But he's so casual. I love that he's feeling more and more comfortable, to talk about her.
Yeah, that's nice.
He must be pretty serious.
Must be.
So then it's March. Rob is once again covered in GQ, and he casually mentions Suki when telling a story about a time a repairman came to their apartment together, and he said he just randomly started talking about what a DC fan he is. And I'm sitting there facing the other direction, and my girlfriend just keeps continuing the conversation with him, Pattinson said. And I'm looking at her like, shut the fuck up. Why are you doing this to me? He continued. She was very entertaining, just talking to an obsessive fan.
I don't really get that.
Me neither.
So he wanted her to just ignore this guy, and
maybe like, I don't know if the fan knew that he was going to be the new Batman.
Maybe not.
I'm not sure.
Maybe.
But also, like, I don't know.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I feel like that's just nice. Like, to me, every time a repairman comes to my apartment, I always make a ton of small talk when they're over.
Yeah, I never know what to say.
Me too. Like, I don't just, like, have them do the work and I keep to myself. You have to talk to them when they're doing work in your house.
He's very private.
Yeah. Maybe he's, like, worried they're gonna, like... I think he is very, very paranoid. In the article, though, he talks about having kids someday. In the context, though, of feeling anxious when kids kick balls to him in the park.
Oh.
Like soccer balls.
So what does he say?
He said, eventually I'm going to have a child. So I've started training myself so that I can play soccer with a 3-year-old. Oh, imagine him being your dad. Oh. So then there were also 2 occasions when someone tweets a photo of Rob wearing a Daisy Jones in the 6 hat. This is before it had come out, but that's cute.
Because she's in it.
She's in it, yeah. I never mentioned that, but she was cast at some point and filming it around this time.
And he was already wearing the hat.
Yes. So that's sweet.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's a very supportive partner. Like when he was dating Kristen, like he was big into complimenting the films that she was in.
That's true. Not to mention his ex, but
yeah,
he does that. Yeah.
I'm actually gonna mention his ex again right now.
Okay.
So it's May, and Suki released her album I Can't Let Go, which she says features songs about relationships that happened throughout her life so far, and she says that a lot of them are about a relationship that took her a long time to untangle and understand, which I'm guessing is not Rob, because why would you be untangling your current relationship?
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's like Bradley Cooper, especially since they had such a big age gap. But who knows? Maybe it's not. But she has one song, Bullshit, on the internet, which I always thought sounded like it was about like fans wanting Rob and Kristen back together. But she had said that it was about seeing an ex with someone new, which I don't know. I don't know if I buy that though.
Because it doesn't line up?
It just doesn't sound like it. Like the lyrics are, I saw you were with her only last night. I got caught up in your picture in a headline. Early morning, I don't want to rise. If I read between the lines, you're mine. It looks like you love her online. What do I expect? Because I get so low. Why do I even check? I should know it's all bullshit on the internet. I never deny you of your history. But I guess this modern life plays tricks on me when they want you back together like a movie. And I wonder, is there any room for me? Who are all these people anyway? I'm so foolish that I give it all away. Like,
yeah.
I never deny you of your history. They want you back together. That doesn't sound like it's about an ex with someone new. That would be like your future, not your history, you know?
That's true.
So I almost wonder if she's kind of saying that because like it's so obvious that it could be about like Rob and Kristen.
It does.
Or like
it does. I mean, like a movie.
Say that. Like they want, literally, it's like people want them back together because it's Twilight, obviously.
Yeah.
But like I wonder if that is a little embarrassing for Rob or something, so that's why she says it's about seeing an ex with someone new. But it doesn't sound like that at all.
It doesn't. Yeah. We can read.
So yeah.
Sorry, I'm being sassy.
I know. She does have another song, Wild Side, which I also was like, could this be about Kristen?
Oh.
It's like, love the stories that you tell. They remind me of myself when I was young and loved somebody else. We've been through this all before. The chapter's closed, but not the door. I know you're thinking of somebody else. If she calls, would you run? Would you run to her? Because I know how it feels when it's not over, when you've got that ex who's crazy. They're always running through your mind. Remember when we had a wild side? I learned to read between the lines. Again, reading between the lines. Connection to the other song. You're talking truths. You're talking lies. Rob is a liar. I can tell when there's somebody else. It got so big you lost control. Where the stories end, the fictions grow. Always talking of somebody else.
Fiction. Twilight.
Yeah. I think she even mentions, like, I don't have it written down, but I think there's a part where it's like Good Time or something. He was in a movie called Good Time, but I don't know. Maybe that's a stretch because obviously I'm, sensitive to that. But I kind of relate to that though. I feel like sometimes when people do have an ex, I don't want to say crazy, but a history with someone that was almost so consuming in a volatile way or like hectic, like you almost do feel competitive with the wildness of it. Oh, like even though that might have been toxic, it's almost threatening in a way.
Yeah. I think if it's in the past, truly in the past, it shouldn't be a threat. But if someone does still have intense feelings about an ex, I do think that is kind of concerning. That they would still feel, even if it is anger or hatred, I think that
Yes.
is, and any intense emotion is preoccupying their mind. So yeah. It is intimidating. If someone just says about their ex, like, oh, it's chill, whatever, I don't care.
But when they're like still bitter about their ex, it's like,
That's concerning.
Yeah. And I could see like in this relationship, if Rob's like, oh, I want to be private because of like what happened to me with this breakup, there might be an insecurity of like, why does that still affect you so much in a way? Even if it has nothing to do with the other person anymore, it might be like, wow, that still really bothers you, like those feelings from a relationship with somebody else, Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
It could be about FK Twigs too, but I do think that the lyrics seem a little bit more fitting with Kristen. Just because it was higher profile, but I don't know.
And it does seem to me like with Kristen, he actually one time in an article was asked if he was on good terms with Twigs and Kristen. I think this was 2019. And he quickly said, yeah. But we don't know.
He said, yeah.
I don't know.
That was what the quote said, yeah.
I think so.
What?
I think it was just like a yes. It was like yeah or yes or yup. Like it was quick. It was not like a long answer. Remember that's the one where he said, he was like, they weren't failed relationships. He was like, they're pretty long. Like I think they said like relationship failures or something. And he was like, they're pretty long relationships, not like 3 months.
Yeah.
But
journalists are so brazen sometimes.
But one of them does have to ask Kristen, do you still talk? Like, they never ask
Do you
that.
text ever?
Yeah. Do you still have his
tell us.
number?
Yes.
Just ask that.
Yeah.
It has to be like Howard Stern or something.
I know.
She wouldn't just tell anybody.
Hopefully someday.
I feel so weird that I'm topless right now.
I forgot. You just reminded everybody.
I feel like I'm insecure that everyone's like just thinking about it, but it's for some reason it's hot in my room even though it's cold outside.
It's very avant-garde of you, Mel. It's very, very artistic.
So anyways, we never talked about this on the Twilight podcast because
what?
Literally like 2 days after we ended our Twilight podcast, weirdly, mysteriously, Rob seemingly released a song titled The Last You Think of Me.
Out of nowhere.
And it came up like as Robert Pattinson, like he has a couple songs on Spotify from like movies that he's done. And he did say that he had been working on music while filming The Batman. And it's just so weird because the song sounded like a demo. It sounded unfinished. He's barely singing in it. It's a very hushed voice. And it's a breakup song. It seems like a little bit disturbing. Like, why did you just put this out?
And now it's gone.
Yeah, it was up for like 2 days. And then it was still up, but it wasn't under the regular Robert Pattinson anymore. Mm-hmm. And then it was taken down completely. No explanation.
It's still in my library, but I can't play it. It's grayed out.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at it right now.
Off of Spotify completely.
The album artwork is a picture of a bus on a highway, and it looks like it was put through some kind of photo editor to make it look like it was drawn. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my god, I hate those.
Very mysterious. Could this guy get any more mysterious?
But there was a lot of debate online where people couldn't decide if it was really him or not him.
I think
we think it was him.
Yeah, because he is a musician, and I always thought he would come out with music someday again. So, again, because he has 2 songs on the Twilight soundtrack, and he did something for the movie Damsel. So, and I think it kind of sounded like him. I mean, it was a very hushed voice, but
yeah, it's just weird though because it sounded like a demo. It didn't sound like. But I don't think any random Joe Schmo would just be able to release a song and have it underneath Robert Pattinson's discography on Spotify.
Yeah.
How would they be allowed to do that?
And I am the lone Apple Music user, and it was under his on there too, so I feel like there's gotta be some kind of ownership or organization or,
Yeah. Because otherwise that would happen more frequently, I think. Like, obviously he's not, like, known as a singer, but I don't know. Has that ever happened with other people? There might be more examples, but it's weird because it was also a breakup song, and so I was at the time like, did him and Suki break up? And he's up in the middle of the night and randomly putting this out. Like, people do crazy things when they're going through breakups. I was really having conspiracy theories about it.
Me too.
And I'll read the lyrics. It's funny trying to rely on you. I want you there, need you to be there for me, even when I'm cross. I'm not so lost to tell the truth. I'm not sure I need you to tell the truth. I miss you. Honest, I think this might be the last on earth I think of you. Sometimes I felt like you had been together. There was no one to look for love. You're always picking up the pieces and then always moving on. What's one more time being on my own? And I'm not sure I need you to tell the truth. Honest, I think this might be the last night. I miss you. Soon I will have to think of you when I need someone to hold me close. This will be the last night I ever feel home.
That's so sad.
I know. But honestly, even the writing style, like the lyrics remind me of like some of the songs that he's written before.
Oh my gosh, I was just thinking the same thing. It seems like his style of
sad and a little disjointed.
Yeah.
It's not super direct. It doesn't rhyme.
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of think it was him, and it's so odd.
I hate that I can't listen to it again. I wonder if it's on YouTube or anything.
But honestly, like, there weren't even many articles about it. I feel like it was only something that fans picked up on.
I know. That's one downside of streaming. I wish I had bought it or something because people can just take stuff down. I hate that.
Oh, you know what? I do think I took a screen recording of it, but I'd have to find it.
Good. That was smart of you.
I'll have to go looking. Yeah, I think I had a feeling it was going to get taken down, so...
Yeah, sometimes you just have a feeling.
It's just so weird, too, that this song came out a month after Suki released an album. I don't know. It's mysterious.
That is weird.
And I wish a reporter would have asked Rob about this.
Reporters are not as invested as us. You know what I mean? They don't know what to ask.
They're not, like, in the know and stuff like this.
Yeah.
But, you know what? Despite conspiracy theories, it seems like they're still together a month later. They were photographed holding hands walking on the streets in New York City.
All right.
And they'll be photographed a lot holding hands in New York City. I'm like, where are they? Because I want to run into them.
Oh.
Suki once was interviewed at a bar in Bushwick, which is where I live, where Kelly lived. Where was she? Like, where?
I can't believe that.
What if it was, like, right next to my apartment?
I know. That is nuts.
That's stressful.
Has he been to Bushwick? That's just crazy.
Oh my God. I would die. I feel like he would go to Bushwick.
I know.
Oh my God. Imagine Kristen in Bushwick. Oh my gosh.
I can picture it.
I don't know how I would, like,
just
go
for
on with
night.
my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So August, Suki posts a TikTok of a man trying to hit on her. Like, how did she have footage of this? I don't really understand where this is from. And she's in a parking lot, and when the guy asks for her number, she goes, "Oh no, I have a boyfriend." Which that feels a little contrived too. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's interesting. She puts out interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So then it's November. She's interviewed by The Independent UK and talks about how throughout her career so far, she's often been viewed as the girlfriend of famous men. And she says in particular about when she dated Bradley Cooper, "I think I was just a baby. You're not really sure what your accomplishments are when you're that age. You're in love. You don't care. You don't start to believe that narrative is decided for you and that it's owned by something outside of you. And then you actually realize that nobody knows the narrative. You know the narrative." So it seems like it's something she's really sensitive about. Then it's November. After dating for 4 years, Rob and Suki made their first red carpet debut as a couple at the Dior Men Fall 2023 show where they walked arm in arm together.
Serious.
And now we're into this year. So they hosted a star-studded New Year's Eve party in the Lower East Side of Manhattan at the Moxie Hotel. Why weren't we invited? Celebrity guests included Emma Stone, Whitney Peak, Ian Bowen, Luke Grimes, Misha Barton, and Kelsey Aspile.
Wow.
I don't know half those people, but sounds crazy. And apparently, according to sources, Rob and Suki had a great time. He had a table in the corner and was laughing a lot. The insider added that he and Suki were by each other's side the entire night. It was a fun evening.
Wow.
Honestly, I feel like all the sources that the magazines have are very boring, the quotes that they tell us.
What did they say?
It's all just like, oh, they had a great time, they're in love, they're fun. Like, what? But then it's February. Suki is interviewed by The Times ahead of the premiere of Daisy Jones and the Six, and she actually opens up a lot about her relationship with Rob in this interview. About dating him, she says, "I'm shocked that I've been so happy with someone for nearly 5 years." And in their interview, she says that she and Rob are never apart for longer than 2 months, which I have to say, kind of a long time.
I know. Usually when people say that, it's 2 weeks. Or a couple days, I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone's like, wow, impressive. 2 months is a while.
We're never apart longer than 2 months.
Like, that's kind of long. But, yeah, I mean.
Whatever works for you guys. Yep.
Yeah. On their careers, she says, Rob definitely isn't getting advice from me about acting. Wait, isn't giving me advice? I think she said Rob definitely isn't getting advice from me about acting. Why would she be giving him advice? Of course, I'll try and get him to help me with an audition before he falls asleep on the sofa. Seems like he's a big sleeper, I guess.
A little messy, chaotic, like you said.
Yeah. She says that Rob is paranoid about paparazzi and likes to wear masks to hide, adding, but he thinks people are always chasing him even if we're on the couch. He's just got that mentality.
Oh, no.
I know.
That sounds kind of concerning.
That's not good.
Yeah. Chasing him even if we're on the couch? Oh, no.
I just feel like that's a recipe for disaster if he's so paranoid about paparazzi and then she's calling the paparazzi. And I 100% think she is calling the paparazzi. Like,
oh dear.
It's just too unbelievable that there's all these photos of them by the same exact photographer all the time. And I don't know.
That is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. That must be a point of conflict in their relationship. She says, I'm always incredibly excited when I see his name pop up on my phone or even a text, and I think he feels the same about me. We've always got so much to say, and I find him hilarious.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's a relatable feeling. That's very sweet.
She also adds that she's looking forward to having kids in the future. She says, you have to be like, I'm going to be a sitting cow for a bit of time, but it's going to be worth it. I can't wait. I wish you could click your fingers to make it happen. And They must be really serious because then they bought a house. Reportedly, it was a Spanish colonial revival style 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath home for $5 million, which had previously been owned by Beck and Marisa Ribisi during their marriage.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I can't even believe these people that, I don't know, buy houses of former, like, celebrities that lived there before. It's just nuts.
I know. So out of this realm for us. I don't even know if I'll ever own a home. So, and if I do, it's going to take me years, decades to pay off. So
I know.
Just dropping $5 million, that's crazy.
Yeah. Even though that is so expensive to us, it sounds like kind of a modest house. I mean, 3 bedrooms?
Yeah, 3-bedroom. Not that much for a celebrity. I mean,
yeah.
That Angelina and Brad home, wasn't that like 35 bedrooms?
Oh my God. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you have 6 kids, but still, who else is going to stay here? That's a hotel.
Man.
It's excessive.
That would be so easy to have guests stay over. Because I get stressed sometimes. Like, I don't know where everyone's going to sleep. Like, oh, the floor. Imagine having that many bedrooms. Oh, my gosh.
That's insane. Yeah, you could have crazy parties.
Yeah.
Everybody gets their own room.
Imagine.
I mean, yeah, there's 6 kids, 2 parents. Let's just assume the parents get their own room. Okay, that's 8. You could literally triple that. They could quadruple that. And you'd still have extra bedrooms.
Wow.
That's crazy. Don't relate. So but in February, I'm going to start talking about blind items. But who knows if these are true. Who knows? I'm just throwing them in because they're so mysterious. Like, they're begging us to bring them up, right? Mm-hmm. So on Crazy Days and Nights, there's a blind that says this foreign-born A- list movie actor. I wouldn't say he's A-, but
yeah, interesting.
Actor from multiple movie franchises was supposed to be out of state supporting his girlfriend when she performed. He was not in attendance though, and this is around when she's doing, I think, Lollapalooza. But then in March, Suki is at Lollapalooza in, I think, Argentina, and Rob was seen supporting her in the crowd, watching her. So
that wasn't true?
I don't know, maybe. And then in that month, there's another blind that says, when the foreign-born A/A- list movie actor / superhero you call your boyfriend doesn't want to attend the Oscars after parties with you, then what do? Get hammered, drunk, and constantly try and text him.
Interesting.
I mean, we've all been there. Then it's April. They're photographed on a walk in New York City. They seem pretty happy. And then in May, they attended the Met Gala together. So cute.
Oh,
she
yes.
wore a Fendi flower dress and he wore a Dior suit. And they just seemed so cute and affectionate and in love on the red carpet.
They looked beautiful.
Also
Yeah,
in
very
attendance were both of Rob's famous exes, Kristen Stewart and FKA Twigs.
Crazy.
And according to the gossip sites, Twigs apparently left an after party early when Rob and Suki showed up. I mean, can you blame her?
I understand. No,
Who
yeah,
wants to be
I
at
would
a
do the
party
same
with your
thing.
ex.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. That would be really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Then in July, they're photographed holding hands in New York City again. And I do think that their photo, like, I didn't even include every paparazzi photo in here. There's too many. Like, I do think they're photographed so often. It is a little excessive. And there's another blind that says the significant other of this foreign-born A-list movie actor who stars in at least one franchise is never supposed to discuss her relationship with the actor for the fear the narrative of what he is trying to accomplish will be altered. What does that mean? I don't know.
It's so, you can just ponder this so much because it seems true. It seems accurate from what we're observing, but did somebody just also observe that and then write that?
Exactly.
Like, oh, they don't talk about the relationship that much, but interesting. Yeah, what is
I
the
didn't
narrative?
include-
Just that he's like a serious actor and he
Maybe.
doesn't get written about in a frivolous gossip way? I don't know.
I don't know. And I didn't include all the blind items, like, because there are also blind items where, like, he's gay and that Suki is his beard. But I'm like, why is that, like, every single blind item? Like,
I know.
about every male celebrity. I just find that hard to believe.
I do think that is so common. Like, so many of them say that. So,
It feels like fan fiction.
I know. I mean, yeah, it's possible, but they do that for everybody, so
Everybody. Like, it's, I don't know.
it's hard to take seriously. It's like the
And I
boy
just
cried
don't-
wolf.
I don't think that anybody would have a fake relationship for 5 years. That's so long.
Yeah,
Who
that
could
is a
keep up
really
with
long
that?
time. I know, and they're seen together all the time.
Yeah, they quarantine together. Like, why would they do that?
All those walks.
Yeah, going to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Then in August, there's another blind that says this foreign-born model slash singer slash actress promised a paparazzi an exclusive on photos with her higher on the list actor boyfriend. The problem is she said the same thing to a half dozen other photographers who are not happy with the model slash singer slash actress.
I wonder.
That kind of sounds maybe, but also someone else could observe these things and then send that in, so who knows. And cute, the couple then also in August went on a trip to Tanzania together with Dior and were photographed in the safari wearing traditional robes and posing with the local tribe members there. I don't know what Dior was doing. Maybe it was a commercial or an ad
I didn't know
campaign
that.
or something. But yeah, cute. And in September, there's also a blind item. This actually came up pretty frequently too, of Rob apparently cheating on Suki. It says
No.
this former movie vampire is once again cheating on his longtime girlfriend, who will literally do nothing about it. But who knows if that's true? Like anyone could just say stuff like that.
Because, yeah, if anyone doesn't know, blind items are anonymous gossip tips, basically, sent into these sites. So it's hard to know what's true or what's not.
Yeah.
I hope not.
I hope not either. I don't want to pay too much attention to blinds. I only included them because they're so private, so...
Yeah. I
feel
mean,
bad about it.
I usually check when we're covering a couple. Not always, but yeah, usually just check to see what they're saying. So
I will say, overall, as a couple, they seem to go together pretty well. Like, I think they're both really beautiful. They both do seemingly have similar interests. They both are goofy.
They're both
and
English.
I can just, it's so weird because even in the beginning of their relationship, I kept seeing like the unlikely pair. Why are they unlikely? They actually seem very likely.
Yeah, what? I agree. I think that they do seem like they would go well together and have a lot of fun. And
they're beautiful.
The shared interests, they probably have a lot to talk about.
Kind of the same hair color.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Rob and Suki.
So they're still together.
Still together. Likeliness that they'll stay together.
Oh, gosh.
I don't want to say that they'll break up, but I do think that the whole paparazzi thing could be a conflict. But maybe that now that she's pretty famous on her own,
maybe
it won't be, isn't as much of a need for it.
Just because we've been following Rob for so many years, I want him to find the one and settle down if that's what he wants. And so I hope that they stay together. I mean, odds they stay together, I don't know. It's so tough though, because these actors, you can't bet too high.
Oh my God. I would be so insecure dating him because it's so weird that actors kiss other people.
Yeah.
For their job.
I know. That's crazy.
I couldn't tolerate it. If I was Suki, I would also call the paparazzi. I would want everyone to know, like, I am dating him. He's mine. Like, back off,
I know. Yeah, I would want people to know, too. I don't know, man. This might seem really low, but I'm going to say, like, 40% chance they stay together.
I know.
But, I mean, we're talking the rest of their lives, so I think so.
It's a long time, yeah.
It's a long time for famous people.
I have a feeling that they have broken up before. I don't think that they've consistently dated the entirety of their relationship.
Because there have been those periods of darkness.
Yeah. Like 6 months is a really long time. And to go 2 months without seeing each other, that's pretty long.
And then that breakup song he released, ?
And now she's on tour. I think she's done like 200 shows within like a year and a half or something. He's filming movies. I think we've, talked about it time and time again on this podcast. Conflicting schedules. Very hard for couples.
I know. It's a romance killer. I hope they do stay together, though.
Me too. I want the best for them.
Me too. And it would be so cute to see a baby Rob. So I feel like an aunt. I hope they have kids. When are you getting married? But
I know.
It would be cute. Of course, we always hope maybe, possibly, him and Kristen would get back together. But I had to say it. But she's with somebody else, too.
Yeah, but like, what's going on with that? Wasn't she engaged?
I know. She was supposed to be getting married. She said, we're marrying. Sometimes I think that she just felt pressured to say that by Howard Stern.
100%.
She didn't mean it.
I think so, too.
Oh.
But I don't think that they will get back together.
I know.
Kristen. In my dreams, maybe, but
if we're being realistic,
I want them to work together again. At the very least, be in a movie together and to be friends.
Or acknowledge each other. Something.
Yes. Well, she acknowledges him all the time.
Yeah.
But the fact that he doesn't acknowledge her, does that mean that he's still harboring some leftover feelings?
Maybe. He's really mysterious. I just feel like the more I learn about Rob, the less I know.
I know, me too. I feel like I'll never know him, but I also feel like the people in his life don't know him either. He's one of those guys. We all know someone like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope that people, like the non-Twilight people, don't feel like I'm crazy. The Kristen stuff. But, actually the Rob and Kristen episode is, I think, our third most popular episode. Which is surprising because it's 4 years old. Like, it's from our old podcast. We really didn't promote it that much at all. So it really speaks to the power that they hold as a couple.
I know. Thank you guys for listening. And thanks, Mel, for telling the story and doing all the research. That was really fun. I'm sad. Does that mean that's our last Rob episode? Unless we go way back to his high school relationship or whatever.
There might not be a lot to uncover there. Unless him and Suki break up and he dates somebody else. I mean, as his and Suki's relationship progresses, we could always do a part 2 too.
That's true. Well, do you want to tease next week's couple?
Sure. What I'll say is it's more of a historical episode. It's not modern day. And it is literally out of this world.
I love that. It's literally
that seems really obvious, but I'm excited to see the guesses. And if you don't already, follow us at Significant Lovers on Instagram. Before each episode, we prompt you all to guess who the couple will be.
Forgot to do it because there's an episode tomorrow.
Oh my god. Shoot. I'm just realizing that. Yeah.
Thanks for the reminder. Yeah. Well, all right, thank you guys.
We'll get back together next week.
Is your heart filled with pain? Shall I come back again? Tell